Securing my 7th BookBub featured deal. There aren't many online book advertisers that bring in results quite like BookBub. In fact, I would even say for me they have brought in my best ever sales and results and returns as an indie author. I can probably count only one of my featured deal experiences as below par, but even for the time, it was my best day of sales and paved the way for my future with BookBub and my future as an indie author. Some of you may have read or watched my previous content about BookBub, and seeing as this is my 7th featured deal, there may appear to be no new ground to cover, but the learning opportunities are still here for me, and I hope you can get something from this video. This video was inspired by a recent written article that you can find over on my Patreon, and I figured, what the hell, let's make a video also. So let us dive in. The basics. Firstly, for those who aren't familiar with BookBub, who are they? Well, BookBub are an online advertising site, and they may even be one of the original, or at least most established online spaces to advertise books. Having been around for a while, they have accumulated a huge amount of subscribers who are voracious readers, or at least that's what they boast. Their site kind of works like Goodreads, or any other type of book-based social network. You can create a profile, list your reads, and even post ratings. Some of the big-time authors advertise via BookBub, so it is a legit place. My first tip would be to establish a basic presence on the site. Create a profile, claim or list your books, and even rate a few books you've read. Having a profile and presence on the site means you can slowly build it up over time. This also means you can follow people and find followers yourself, and like most platforms, followers are the power. BookBub offer a lucrative advertising package known as the featured deal, and it has been dubbed as the holy grail of promotions to some authors. They also proudly feature indie authors, which even today is quite refreshing, and probably above everything, they pride themselves on having a base of subscribers who review regularly, which is gold for any authors. The featured deal. We'll get straight to the point with featured deals. They cost money, and they are also quite hard to secure, as BookBub are very selective. This isn't a boast, but there are plenty of established big-time authors I know who have never managed to secure a BookBub featured deal, and here I am with 7. But there is a method to how I've done that, and we'll get to that soon. As for the financials, a featured deal costs a fair amount of money, and so you can expect to be paying anything from $150 onwards. Over many years, I have always believed in paying serious money for serious results when it comes to advertising. I've used hard-earned savings, and in more recent years, book royalties to cover the costs. I know not everyone might be in that position, and money can be a divisive subject, but if you want to succeed in advertising anything, you might have to spend money. BookBub featured deals present a unique opportunity to make your money back for an extended time after, as sales should still be coming in long after the featured deal. Combined with a backlist, and even having a series alongside being enrolled in Kindle Unlimited, I can proudly say that I have made back my money, and some, from most of my featured deals. This is probably why I've kept going back to them. Some years before, I'd run most of my book promotion advertising at a loss, but this eventually changed over time. So remember, time is your friend. My method for success. There are a lot of different things that need to line up in order for BookBub to say yes. In my experience, you firstly need full-length books. BookBub determine this by a page count for fiction and non-fiction, so unfortunately, no novella-length books or shorter reads are currently eligible. Next up is genre, and the popular genres tend to be very busy in terms of submissions, so the chances of being featured with one of them might be low, but I've found that the less submitted niche genres are where you have the most chance. My first 2 featured deals were for my superhero comedy, The Teleporter, which was accepted under the humor category twice. The second time it was featured, The Teleporter was downloaded over 10,000 times in one day. See this graphic. My point is that most books may have a subgenre that could possibly be niche or less submitted for by other authors. This could help you get your foot in the door with that first BookBub featured deal. There is also a slight misconception that your book needs lots of ratings or even accolades to get accepted. Most of my featured deals happened for my titles that had less than 50 ratings. The Teleporter had around 20 when it got selected that second time. Next is backlist, and I have a decent selection of books that are eligible for featured deals. Out of my 9 releases, 7 of them are eligible length and range in genre. Every month I will apply for a featured deal with all of these titles. Most of the time they will say no, but having a backlist gives me more opportunities to apply. Good things take time, and I took time to release these books, and I enjoyed the process, and it kept me coming back to publishing each time I published a book. But now they are out in the world, they are an investment, and they are great for trying to secure a BookBub featured deal. Promo price is also a big thing, as BookBub want the best possible price drop for a book when they advertise it. This means they are more likely to select your book if you have a decent gap between the regular price and the price you want to promote it for. The majority of my featured deals have been for books that cost $2.99 regularly and were featured as free to download. What I haven't mentioned is the probability of needing a little patience and a thick skin, because BookBub are very selective and will say no a lot. If you're anything like me, then you'll be right at home with rejection. I joke, but as long as you are a little thick-skinned, like I said, and don't take it too personally, just keep submitting. This is a bit of a chicken and egg situation, but getting in the door with BookBub for that first featured deal was huge for me. It paved the way for the rest of my success in finding featured deals, and so if you can get that first deal with them, you'll eventually find another. My first happened all the way back in 2019, and then it took 2 whole years for my second to take place. Now they happen way more frequently, and basically every 6 months. Like a lot of things in publishing, the long game is where good results are fostered. For this 7th featured deal, the outlook for me is positive, because it is the first time I have 9 books available. Of course, I'll be taking advantage of that by probably dropping the price of most of my works across the board when the deal takes place. You can expect some detailed results soon. I hope this video has been of some use. Peace out, rock and roll, and promoting books.